Tracking fob. So, every bounty hunter seems to have a tracking fob. What are they? Well, to put it very simply, they are small handheld devices used by bounty hunters to track down their target, or targets, throughout the galaxy. But how do they work? Well, up front, they seem to be very similar to radio trackers. They have a loop-style antenna, they appear to have a limited range, but blink red and emit a beeping noise when they are within a radius of their quarry. Now, the range might be limited, but it seems to kind of expand across the galaxy. Or at least so I think, for now, as the Mando was found on the mysterious planet where he met Cara Dune. The blinking and the beeping increases in speed and tempo the closer they get, kind of like a game of hot or cold. However, there's probably more sophistication and complexity of the fobs than first meets the eye. For instance, when the Mando arrives with the tracking fobs for the blue-skinned Mithril and whoever the others were that he put in carbonite, he drops the trackers on the table in front of his guild contact, Greef Karga. But when Karga attempts to pay for the bounties with Imperial credits, the Mando withdraws the fobs. Why? Karga's men are already taking the carbonite prisoners off his ship. What does he need the fobs for? The job is done, unless they are much more complicated than earthbound radio trackers. It hasn't really been explained yet, so I'm just theorizing here, but when the Mando was sent off after Baby Yoda, he first needed to know the target's last known location. Then he got part of its chain code, whatever that is. And with that, he was able to track Baby Yoda with the fob. The bounties he was after in the beginning were bail jumpers, so it could make sense that some sort of tracking device could have been implanted into former inmates. And if Baby Yoda is involved in some sort of Imperial scientific experiment, they could have placed a tracker inside of him years ago. I mean, he's been around for 50 years. But why are the fobs important to return with the bounty? It could be that it's not tracking some sort of transmitter implanted in the targets, but instead is somehow in tone to their genetic code. I mean, the Mando knows Baby Yoda is being tracked by Fobs, so why hasn't he removed the transmitter? He went to Sorgan to find a sanctuary for little Yoda, ended up fighting an AT-ST but had to flee with the child as he was being hunted down by other bounty hunters. So, again, like I said, why didn't he just get rid of the transmitter? Perhaps it's because he can't, if there is no transmitter, and instead, they are tracking the baby's genetic code. That could also be why the fobs were so important to Greef Karga. It wasn't enough to hand the carbonite marks over to whoever the clients were, the fobs were proof of their identity. So, a security measure to make sure that the bounty hunters didn't just capture random innocents and claim them as targets. That's just a theory.